of like customizing your diet, because that's where I think uh, I messed up last time, is where when I did the whole carnivore thing for I think I did it for like 4 or 5 months, and at some point you you want to switch it up or something, and uh, I noticed that pretty much everything got like a reaction, and I was really curious, like these biomarkers that you're talking about, like what determines something being good for you or not, and how do you, yeah. Uh, also something like you mentioned this in your last video was about the macros. I that's also one thing that I didn't have to think about with carnivore, right? So that also made it easier for me. But then as soon as I have to switch to something else or add something in, it also changes the macros. So I'm like, yeah, what does that mean, right?
Yeah,
How do I do that?
absolutely. And I'll break it down to you because there's only really two main things that have to get done. If you simplify it down to its core system, one is creating a baseline, and then the second is testing foods. Let me talk about creating the baseline. It's very, very straightforward concept. For 3 months, you can create a baseline. And once you have your baseline, you understand how your body's operating at the most basic level. So think about it like this. If over the past 3 months, I ate these 6 foods, these 6 foods eaten consistently for 3 months made these biomarkers results with my body. So you could say, after eating for 3 months, these 6 foods, this is how healthy I am. That becomes your baseline. So let's say on average, all the biomarkers are around a 7 or a 6 after the 3 months. They've improved quite a bit. They were all probably like 2 or 3. So you've eaten these 6 foods, and after 3 months, you're at an average of around a 7 with your biomarkers out of 10. Cool. That's your baseline. Now you're like, I don't really understand macros too much, but I want to learn about them and test macros and start my process with playing with macros. So what you would do is you'd take a month and you'd test a macro range, meaning you'd either lower your fat and bring in a little bit of carbs, or you'd bring your fat way up and lower your protein slightly and get into deep ketogenic range. So wherever you are, you'd try a different set of macros, including calories can be tested. And then what you do is you slowly transition into that over the course of a month. And during the course of the month, while you're doing that, you write down and journal your biomarkers. If at the end of that testing month, your biomarkers are still a 7, or they've improved to a 7.5 or an 8 or a 9, then you know that those macro ranges that you tested, or the macro range that you ended up at, is a safe place for you to be. And no matter what happened to your symptoms, the skin, during that testing phase, if your biomarkers stay the same or get better, that food is safe or those macros are safe. And that's the basic system with macros, with testing foods, and with all of the different variables is, do they change my biomarkers for the better or not? And if they change my biomarkers for the worse, then that macro or that food is out for now and can maybe be retested down the road if you want to.
Okay.
Questions?
Yeah, sure. So I got a few of them.
I meant, do you have any deeper questions about that topic?
About that topic. Okay,
Yeah.
so this has to do also with the social aspect, actually, because like sometimes I get like some kind of a reaction in my gut or whatever after like something social where I ate something that I shouldn't have, right? Or that I maybe didn't fit within these things that I've set up. And now all of a sudden it was a dish which had all kinds of ingredients. And now I'm trying to figure out like what was the thing that triggered this. And
Right.
the question is more like, does it mean anything, or is it more like just reintroducing something that's odd just can give you a reaction?
So actually both. When you're testing foods, and this is some of the nuance of testing foods. Now, macros can do this too, but anytime you change the variables of your baseline, meaning the macros or the food choices, it's going to probably take a week, week and a half, sometimes 2 weeks for the body to adjust to that. And you just have to know that that's going to be an adjustment phase. And if you have a little gas, if you have a little weird digestion, you got to give it some time. That's why we give foods at least a month to test. If it continues to cause problems for the full month, then obviously that doesn't work with your biomarkers. In terms of like social eating or a little cheat or a little mess up, we just don't even look at that as information that's viable, except for we got off the plan because it's too hard to extrapolate what made the immune response. Was it the fun plus the food? Was it the seed oils? Was it the random nuts that were in there? It's you're going to go nuts trying to figure that out and crazy. And also remember, one of the keys, and this is the counterintuitive part of healing, is like as someone who's trying to heal their skin, you do have to become like a Zen Buddhist ninja and be like, the surface of my skin and the symptoms, although it's challenging, although I want to make them not suffer as much as possible, do not give me any viable information to base my healing off of.
Yeah, because that's also something that I try to like. I'm trying to recollect the moments I had a few years ago, trying to figure out what foods worked, and I do recall like moments where like my skin would flare up or whatever or something, and there would be like several things that could have been the case, and I'm like, yeah, that makes it so difficult. And also this process, it's very taxing on my patience. I have to be honest. It's not easy.
And I mean, and that's understandable. You know what I mean? I think that part of this is we do have to like have the realization that we are trying to do something that's harder than becoming a millionaire and getting a six-pack. But that's also because how many people go about it the wrong way or give up or whatever, you know what I mean? I believe wholeheartedly that every single human being that's suffering from this affliction, at worst, can get their skin to a place where it doesn't bother them. Yeah. That's the worst case scenario, I believe. And I think that a lot of people can do what I've done where it's just, there's no thought of it during my normal day ever. And I never deal with it. And I'm just happy with my skin. I mean, as you can see, it's just normal skin.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm close to that. Like I said, I already had like a pretty good benefit from just doing all the detoxification and just the healthy eating like a few years ago. So, but yeah, it's not there, right? So I would like to like get it down, and also like I said, also just make it a habit, make it a lifestyle, right?
Personalized, step-by-step healing plans that actually work. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rob Stewart. I worked with over 3,000 students and clients, helping them naturally heal their skin, eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, and rosacea. I've been doing this private coaching and leading groups for over a decade. And I personally used to suffer greatly from dermatitis, rosacea, eczema, and psoriasis. It was a really fun time. But I've been skin disease free for going on like 13 years now. And it's been the best 13 years of my life. And this channel is dedicated to helping people like you guys naturally heal your skin. I share my journey. I share the journey of my clients. And I hope you guys enjoy. Much love. And I'll see you soon in other videos. Peace.